Well, I guess I'm back. What's up everyone, it's me, Red, from Third Yu-Gi-Oh! And let me start by saying, Happy New Year, Happy 2020, I hope you had a great time with the ones you love during the holidays. Secondly, let me say I know I've been gone for like half a year. It's just that I suddenly got swamped by a lot of things I had to do for college and I dedicated almost all my free time to my girlfriend and actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But now it's a new year, and oh boy, what an exciting year is this one gonna be for Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was wondering how to kick it off properly, and I realized, well, the banlist is just a few weeks away, and as a lot of people have been saying, this particular banlist has burden to fix whatever Konami didn't foresee would be a problem under MR5, or whatever you wanna call it. So this video is going to be about cards that need to be hit before MR5 comes out. And while I start talking, I'm going to propose a game. You tell me in the comments which cards you think I will be talking about in the video. And if you do it before I record again, I will give you a shout out on my next video. So let's start with what I think is definitely going to be the most problematic down the road. Trishula. Trishula went from 1 to 3 in July 2019, and as almost every synchro monster has been buffed by MR5. Personally, I find two problems with Trishula. The first one is the lack of a once per turn clause, making it so that you can loop 3 cards out of your opponent's hand. The second problem is that it's all level 9. So after you've gone into Trishula, you can go into True King of All Calamities. And True King of All Calamities in the past was always kept in check by the fact that it requires level 9 monsters. But then Konami went and printed a card called World Legacy Monstrosity, which is searchable on summon by a level 5 Synchro Tuner. So let's say you want to play Trishula in a Calamities Turbo deck. Not only do you turbo out one of the most oppressing monsters in the game, and have that monster as a win condition, but also if you have the resources you get to loop 3 cards out of your opponent's hand. And though I don't think Trishula will get hit on the next ban list, we should at least keep an eye on it for a couple of months after April. Another limited card that was unlimited during Master Rule 4 is TG Hyper Librarian. This card has a real simple effect. If you synchro someone while it is face up on the field, you get to draw a card, not a single restriction. This card reminds me of the Danger archetype in that it helps you gather resources quickly, while also serving as material, and I don't think I have to explain why those things are unhealthy for the game. However, as opposed to Trishula, I do think Konami might hit this card 2-1 in the next ban list. And before we get on to the second half of the video where I talk about cards that are meta relevant right now, I want to give an honorable mention to Summoner Monk. As well as Trishula and Hyper Librarian, Summoner Monk was taken off the ban list during MR4, actually right at the beginning. But I don't think it needs to be hit in the same way Trishula and Hyper Librarian did, mainly because it has a lot more restrictions on it, and is therefore weaker to hand traps. However, we do have a lot of powerful rank 4 monsters, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Summoner Monk back on the ban list somewhere in the future. And now the two meta-relevant archetypes that I think have been directly buffed by MR5. The first one is Thunder Dragons. The idea is that I think losses has to go to 1, because now it is even easier to summon multiples of the card, effectively raising the bar for Thunder Dragons. But much like Trishula, I don't think this hit is going to happen, at least not right away, because there is a much more urgent hit to another archetype, Orcust. I don't think anyone has any doubt that Orcust is going to be hit on the next ban list. The only question is how. And while I do believe that Hidden Babel is the way to go, I know it's kind of a meme, I do think that down the road Dingirso and Galatea both will keep on being problem cards, especially because Dingirso is no longer restricted into where it can be summoned. And even if Babel gets hit, the fact that you can easily revive Galatea and keep on link climbing is essentially what makes the deck so good and so resilient. But I truly don't know how to fix Orcust. What I do know is that they need to be fixed and they need to be hit before MR5 comes out. But enough about what I think. What do you think is the best way to keep MR5 from breaking the game? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for making it to the end. Adios.